Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble and on Patreon for access support. Any kind of updates and the such usually go about on Twitter X platform. And tomorrow we'll get another Midnight Suns episode. As I mentioned yesterday, I did manage to record everything until the end of the game, at least the main story. Yeah, and I will be publishing 3 episodes per week, so I have time to start recording and also editing the episodes that I already record for and also for the upcoming series that I want to bring here, and maybe also get some time to put some more work on the game demos playlist here because I think it might be something of good value of trying at least on my wish list games to record and check some demos when available to see if it's something that it's worth do an investment and buy the game by itself there. But other than that, I got already the completed gameplay series. If you're interested here, got the 4K completed gameplay series where are the most recent ones, and then the older ones before my 6 to 5 years interruption on playing games. It's in 1080p, and some of them, again, I will be replaying some of these games eventually in 4K because I will also like to revisit those games because again, if I enjoy pretty much the game, I will revisit sometime in the future. But yeah, let's go to the news. Trying to keep it short also today. We got a lot of RDNA 4 leaks and rumors in terms of specification and also regarding the comparison of the current lineup of GPUs even from competition. And it seems, and this one comes from Zhang Zhou Hao. I'm sorry. I already covered some leaks from him, and I think he has a good track record, from what I understand, in terms of coming out with information ahead of time. I think he got something right regarding the 9800 X3D CPUs there, and other stuff before that. And it seems that RDNA 4 can be a good seller, or at least can be. Again, that's the highlight there. Competition on the GPU market for the mass markets there. To a certain extent, regardless of the stats here and in terms of leaked performance or rumored performance, again, it's all about the price. How you going to price the product there? But overall, it seems that the early rumblings that we heard that we might get the high end of RDNA 4 coming around at this moment in time seems to be the 8800 XT. Again, the fact that it's being rumored as 8800 XT might give us a hint of kind of the price range they are trying to aim, hopefully. Even though there are some series that AMD launched that didn't have a high end, and they stick around with the naming scheme as I think that the most recent case before this is the 5700 XT, which was the higher end at the time. I'm not sure if it was RDNA 1 or something like that, but I think it was something like that. But yeah, coming to the specs here, it seems that in terms of performance, and given this is translated machine translated from Chinese or Mandarin, it seems that it might be on par, at least with rasterized performance, with a 7900 XTX or 48ish, around about that, which is pretty good. But the thing here is regarding ray tracing compared with the 7900 XTX. And again, the fact that they mentioned here Biohazard 4, so the Resident Evil 4 remake, it says that it has a uplift in terms of performance of around 45% in ray tracing. Again, this game, in terms of ray tracing, doesn't have a lot of stuff happening there. So if they if we had other kinds of games, I don't know, like for example, Cyberpunk, or even other kind of games that might push a little bit on the ray tracing side of things, to have a comparison between those two GPUs, because the 7900 XTX is really not that good in terms of ray tracing. I tried that for myself when I trick around with graphic settings, and it really does tank in terms of performance. And sometimes not even upscaling can make the thing work properly. And also for my personal case, I don't see a huge advantage in terms of ray tracing, because I usually don't notice when you focus on gameplay. Sometimes I think ray tracing can be a complement for photograph stuff or for screenshots. I don't see a huge advantage if you're playing games, especially if you're playing, for example, first-person shooters. You will not notice because you're not looking at the environment that much. You're focused on the gameplay and the enemy and all that jazz. And even in some action games, I don't see the advantage of using ray tracing. Probably in something like a turn-based game where you can have like a having a pause scenario when the lightning might have some kind of I don't know, noticeable in terms of visuals. I think it might be something that you, or even like a puzzle game where you have to think about doing the puzzles and all that stuff, or even like a platformer where you have a more fixed scenario, let's say. I think you might have you might take some enjoyment of the RTX, of the ray tracing there. Sorry, I've been calling RTX, but from the ray tracing. Other than that, I don't see a huge advantage, especially when it takes a hit in terms of performance of the game itself. I don't see huge advantages of ray tracing. But again, it seems that overall is aiming for 4080 slash 4080 super kind of performance, being rasterized and ray tracing. Again, this is basically, we just need to see how this will compare exactly. uh, One of the things that seems to be good is the fact that supposedly, in terms of consumption of power, with the 7900 XTX consumes less 25% power, which is good, given that I think the 7900 XTX, at least the normal version, again, we might not take this in account in terms of AIBs and everything. It consumes around 355 watts. So we might start seeing some aiming 270 watts, which is good. In terms of the other specs, I'm not sure. Again, this is speculation. Uh, I think if they aim for a 20 gigabyte card there, I think it might be a better sell there. But in terms of memory speed, still is maintained by the same that the 7900 XTX. In terms of Steam processors, again, we don't around 4,000, which is in less than the 7900 XT and the GRE. Uh, it depends if the clocks are improved or not with this new generation of the GPU there. But it seems promising. Again, all of this is good if they are aiming at this moment in time and taking in account of Jack Yuan comments that I covered a few weeks ago, might have been like a couple of months ago now, regarding they want to tackle the competition by gaining some market share there. Again, and I think it's possible with, even with RDNA 4 not having a high end product to compete with the high end with of Nvidia. I think they can tackle that market share acquisition from Nvidia if they really uh, are aggressive with the pricing. And from all the people that are more knowledgeable than me, I think if they are aiming between $500 to $600 with this kind of performance, I think we might have a winner. Because again, if you think about it, even the 4080 is hovering around $1,000. The 7900 XTX is hovering around less, $150, give or take, depending on the conditions of the market. But yeah, we also have to take in consideration the NVIDIA products that might aim for this. I will assume the 4080, in terms of 4080 performance, I think the 5070 might try to reach there. in terms of performance, but I will assume that they have less VRAM. So for kind of 1440p and 4K starts to get a little bit 16 gigabytes or less is start not servicing that kind of performance that people are trying to reach in that class card. But yeah, hopefully, if this goes in line, at least take it with a grain of salt, and inside the speculation, hopefully around 5 to 10% off in terms of the values that we are seeing. If they manage to reach having kind of the same-ish performance of a 4080, being in rasterize and ray tracing, and trying to tackle this with a very aggressive pricing of around $500 to $600, I think we might have a winner, even though it's not aim for me, because at this moment I have a 7900 XTX. I don't see any incentive for me to buy this new 8800 XT, even if it is at the same kind of performance, because I will not change anything. Ray tracing is not something that is enticing me to buy a new GPU because of that. I would prefer, if I had to buy at this moment in time, if I have to buy something to replace my GPU, should be like a 4090, because then you can see some uplifts in terms of performance regarding my class GPU that I have at this moment. So again, unless something changes, I think we might have a winner for AMD, even though they are not coming out with a Hello product like a top tier GPU. Hopefully, they can do that with RDNA 5. Again, RDNA 4, as a just callback, they basically are not coming with the high end stuff for this generation. I think mainly because in terms of the engineering part of things, they didn't manage to come around. And I think that the rumors were the dual GPU in the same board kind of a thing they were trying to do there. And I think they, in terms of engineering, they were not able to arrange a proper solution to come out for this generation. And I think they passed on to RDNA 5 to resolve that situation. At least that's my understanding, very broad stroke understanding of what happened there. It's not the first time, again, that AMD does something like this, not coming with a Halo product. But yeah, hopefully, if they fine tune this RDNA 4 and with the integration of the UDNA thing that they have there, that they are preparing there, if they can launch everything correctly with RDNA 4 and the next Zen 6, I think, CPUs, hopefully we can see some improvements, and they kind of take an approach similar to Nvidia, in the sense that they are uh, in terms of their unified architecture being done for the AI accelerators and the server stuff, and then it will eventually trickle down on the DIY market. In this case, our GPUs and CPUs. Hopefully, that will deliver better performance in the overall scheme of things, and the adoption of these technologies and the ramp up of, in terms of upscaling, in terms of performance from generation to generation. Can we can see something like that, similar like NVIDIA is doing, and the fact that they might come with better software solutions. The way, for example, NVIDIA handles ray tracing is far superior than AMD, and if with this unified technology, AMD might be able to start to catch up more quickly, and to a certain degree, hopefully, be competitive in that sense. But yeah, this is what I got for now. So supposedly around 4080 kind of performance, given ray tracing and also rasterized, and consuming less power than the 7900 XTX, and hopefully achieving between $500 to $600. Hopefully, we'll get something. I didn't see anything regarding Intel so far in terms of announcements. Should be later at my time zone, because I'm ahead of time on the United States time. So probably tomorrow I will be able to see what the bottom edge is all about there. In terms of gaming, I think now it seems that Stalker 2 is trying to be is starting to shape a little bit better. They launched two huge major patches straightforward, like with 1 week between each one of them, it seems. The patch 101 and patch 102, basically. And it seems they are addressing the major complaints. One of the reviews that I saw, they had some issues on progressing on story wise because they were locked up of a bug in the main in the main campaign, and it seems they are fixing a lot of stuff, which is at least good to see. Again, I think probably a majority of this stuff should already been patched up before the game was launched, but that's me. Uh, yeah, but hopefully it will improve. I think there is also some improvements in terms of performance because the I think the game is not well optimized for CPU usage. A lot of the CPU, a lot of the sorry, the frames tank on like settlements and the such, while the open areas are better in that sense. But I think they managed to squeeze out a little bit more performance with these patches here, and hopefully they will improve with time. And that's why I never pre-order games. I would always wait and see for reviews, and usually, again, it seems like a common thing, especially on Unreal Engine 5 games. It's been a mess. All the games that have been launching lately, they're not in good state. I don't know if it is harder to optimize for Unreal Engine 5 or if it takes more time in terms of development teams. But yeah, a lot of the Unreal Engine 5 games that are coming out, it's the rare occasion that we got a proper game in terms of optimized for performance there. But yeah, hopefully this will improve with time, and yeah, we'll see if it is a worthy buy in one of these days. I'm not sure if they have demos, a demo for this game, but I will try and see if it is something that is worth. Um, I don't know, next year, something like that. Then we got a lot of Xbox stuff here. Um, Sorry, I had to cough. Um, s- Again, this is getting weird by the day, especially coming a lot of this stuff coming from Microsoft games, so Xbox. And similarly, they blacklist a reviewer for harsh Dragon Age Veilguard review, and they demand positive comments for Avowed. Again, this allegation, um, I don't know what to say, but it seems to go in line with the messaging that this company is passing through. But yeah, they have reportedly denied a review code to this Natalia Sirinova. Again, this is the lady that got a Dragon Age Veilguard review code by just I think she did a tweet to them and asking a review code because she identified as a non-binary, and just because of that they just give her a review code, which is not that good but just by the fact that you're identifying for a fictitious thing here to get a review code for that. We saw this from a lot of people just begging for review codes and identifying as queer and whatever, and they just throw away review codes. So again, because the game is that bad, they just try to ramp up the hype for that game. But yeah, we all know how it went, and basically it seems that she tried to see if she could get a review code for Avowed, which is shaping up to be a shit show. Also, we got all the art director stuff there that is going on a meltdown, uh, trying to make art to piss off people. Usually, that doesn't go well. But yeah, this is in Spanish, most of it. But there is a translation here, basically, and she confirms that the translation is fair enough. I didn't read the Spanish there, but I will assume that the translation is good, even though I know some Spanish because I'm Portuguese. And but yeah, basically the translation here: you were too offensive with the criticism of Dragon Age. In a way, can we give review codes? And I tell you outright, if you want us to give us code, you will have to earn them by speaking well of the game. For now, you're blacklisted. Have an excellent day. And then she replies, so I have to be submissive and lick boots and everything is fine? while the games and are a propaganda trash, I'll say it out loud and clear. But when it's about paying the bribes, I'm very punctual, right? If you don't want to give me the code for a Avowed to review for something, I will be uh, gay. I will be gay with this with this SpongeBob meme. But yeah, and then they replied, "This conversation seems to be about a disagreement over game reviews and possibly ethics in game journalism." Sorry, the mention of Avowed refers to an upcoming RPG developed by Obsidian Entertainment. Again, this is the basically the screenshots that she provided with the interaction with a PR person from Xbox. But yeah, she did the Dragon Age, the Velgard, and she didn't like the game. Yeah, this is not good. You gotta hear a summary of what she reviewed here. Oh my god, es una puta basura como RPG. This is not good. Basically is terrible graphics, boring, monotonous combat. They want to copy from God of War, but in a bad way. The game does not run a constant 30 FPS. It drops and the screen freezes when there are many NPCs. Many of the dialogues are noticeably made with AI. Very linear. The options lead nowhere. False free will. The creator of character creation is focused on the trans and LGBT community, inclusive language in Spanish subtitles. Again, because Portuguese and most Latin languages, like Portuguese, Spanish, French, and even English to a certain degree, but the Portuguese and Spanish are very, and also French are very complicated language, let's say, or complex language. They are all based, they are gender based. So there is no, usually there is no neutral gender in the language. And yeah, that's why she puts here the inclusive language, which doesn't make sense when it's spoken on the mother tongue. But yeah, and then she continued. The character move very robotic. The lack animations. The script doesn't make sense. Neither do the quests from one place to another, killing bugs. Too much focus on homosexuality, lesbian tracks, race swap everywhere. And then she summarized: "It's a fucking piece of garbage. As an RPG, stay away from this game. Don't even buy it on sale. It's a pile of putrefaction created by people who have no fucking idea about video games. Uninstall already. Fuck your mother." Yeah, that's basically that's basically the consensus here to a certain degree of a lot of people. And then she added on Twitter that this game will be the tombstone of BioWare. If they don't fix all the bugs before launch, coupled with political change, the game will be shit. And basically, that's basically the consensus of a lot of reviewers. Some of them less aggressive than others, but yeah, this is not a good game. And Avow, it seems to be that is not going to be a pretty good one. Also, with all the things that we've been seeing from some inside the development team of Avowed Obsidian. Obsidian is not the same. Again, most of these big studios that had some rise to fame, given that Obsidian did Fallout New Vegas and did the Outer Worlds, which is very cheeky, from what I understand, on the way they go about criticizing the corporate world and all that jazz. Yeah, a lot of people are not there that did those games. That same thing with BioWare. Same thing yesterday when I covered with CD Projekt Red. A lot of those guys went away and founded their own indie studios or went for another studios. But yeah, they are not there to make the same kind of high quality games that they used to make. And yeah, again, it's not surprising. It goes to certainly in line. Um, Again, you you cannot verify because there is no official information, at least from the other part, from the avowed people. But yeah, it shows a trend that you need to comply or else you get blocked out. As a reviewer, again, nobody has the right. It's not an inherent right for a reviewer to get free codes. or it's not mandatory for the studios to deliver any kind of review codes. If they don't want to, they cannot. But at least it sends a message, and I think we might you can be sure that the Avowed doesn't seem very good. And also Indiana Jones. It's again. I saw a couple of trailers at the time. The first trailers seemed promising to a certain extent, but the upcoming information and the remaining trailers that have been coming out for Indiana Jones, again, Xbox, again. I don't know what the. I don't know if they want to go bankrupt by going full throttle on this kind of shenanigans. But yeah, it seems that the modern audiences are not coming out to buy the games, that they are making the games too, and they are blocking reviews in terms of embargo until the games goes into advanced access, so early access to a certain point, which is 3 days before the launch, which is 8 December. Again, all the reviews are blocked until they come out the 5th of December, which is not a good sign. It indicates they don't have trust on the game itself. Machine Games did excellent on the Wolfenstein, the Wolfenstein series, like the soft reboot there, except for the Youngblood. All the rest of their games seems to be pretty good, very in line with what Wolfenstein is. But yeah, I think after the acquisition, or a little bit before that, they just, I don't know, they are going in a different path here. Yeah, they are blocking reviews until the game goes to advanced access, and that there is confirmation on this. The website were given a review copy that the official embargo to publish reviews of the game does not go live until the game goes into advanced access, which is starting December 7 p.m. Eastern time or 4 p.m. Pacific time. It is not a good sign. Even all the data that we have here for now, um, the game is just 3 days, and it's at this point in time 179 in terms of position on the Steam top sellers list. We are again, we are 2 days until this comes out in advanced access. It's early access, not advanced access. Also, in terms of pre-orders, it's been the shit show, at least from physical copies, and also in terms of the United States market. The premium edition, which is $100, was pre-ordered around 208 times, and there was already some canceled, and then even for the standard version of the game, 129 times was pre-ordered, but then some canceling happened there. Basically, at this moment in time of the article, the game only had 257 pre-orders. uh, Again, as you can see, it's not that good. I think it's even worse than Dragon Rage the Veilguard, it seems. And one of the trailers that showed the fact that this is made for modern audiences is the fact that the game scene's narrative designer, this name, wore LGBTQ, whatever this is, shirt, detailed that the game was made for modern audiences during a promotion for the game back in January. I remember seeing this guy. It was like just a snippet, like 3 or 4 seconds, but it was very noticeable. But yeah, I don't think this game is going to be that good, especially on the story side. Oh, and there is trigger warnings on the beginning of the game. A trigger warning informing players that the Nazis committed war crimes. Again, the trigger warning heads that the story and contents of this game are not intended to and should not be construed in any way to condone, glorify, and endorse the beliefs, ideologies, events, actions, personal behavior of the Nazi and fascist regimes, nor any other regimes, or to trivialize any war crimes, genocide, and other crimes against humanity. Again, it seems they don't know what fiction is, they don't know what humor is, they don't know what satire is. They take everything up to the letter of the word. which again usually that's goes in line with fascist regiment. They don't allow satire, they don't allow comedy, they don't allow free thinking and free speech, because they take everything at its word. And if you're not in line with their line of thought, you are censored to the nth degree. But yeah, it seems that Xbox is playing a game of, I don't know, not selling games, which it's weird for a company that makes consoles and games for those consoles. It's very weird that they don't like selling games by the quality of the games they've been launching lately. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I think this game comes in Game Pass. It might be the saving grace per se of having some sales numbers or player numbers playing the game, because for sure somebody will, a lot of people will try out that has Game Pass. They will try out, and that will count for players that play the game. Again, it will not translate in sales, but you know how it is. They will always like to take advantage of any kind of metrics that they can to boost their numbers. But yeah, in terms of news, this is it. Not all of them are good, especially coming from Xbox lately. In this couple of years, they've been devolving into I don't know what yet, but yeah, it's not good. We got some sales still going around 1 day or so until the autumn sale finishes up. Again, we got Prey, which is an excellent game, 90% off on the base game. Again, if you're not sure if this game is for you, I did a gameplay series on this game. First episode, you will get an idea what this game is all about. And again, it's got a stamp of approval from me. Very underrated game. We got also Darkest Dungeon, 92% off on the base game. You got the add-ons here. They are pretty good on the game. I think it's the Ancestral Edition. It's the better version with all the extra stuff there. We got also Spirit Fair Farewell Edition. I also need to check a demo on this game to see if it really is, sorry, if it really is that good. We got also Resident Evil franchise is still on sale. I will leave all the links of the Steam pages of the Resident Evil games so you can check out and complete your collection. Then we got also Children of Morta, pretty good game. It seems 75% off. We got also Black Mesa Definitive Edition. This is the remake of Half-Life 1, basically pixel by pixel almost. I think this is made with the Source Engine 2, this Valve Source Engine 2, if not mistaken. But yeah, 75% off. Again, it's in line with as in terms of quality of the Half-Life there. We got also Domekeeper. You got a demo here to try it out if you want to, and the base game is 60% off. We got Cocoon, again, award-winning game here, 50% off. And then we got also the Meow Meow game, so Stray, 40% off, again, award-winning game. And then we got also Dredge, 40% off. This game seems pretty good. Very Lovecraftian environments here. And then you got the fishing mechanic there, seems pretty interesting there. And then lastly, we got Shardpunk, again, another indie game with a demo here if you want to try out. And it's 33% off. And I think might be a good game. Even if, yeah, it seems a pretty good game here. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up here for today with a plug on my Patreon for extra support. Again, the extra support at this moment in time is trying to get around and see if I can get a better storage solution. So I have backups of stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.